Today, I will be talking about two different sets of professional teaching standards. And when we are looking at these, I'll be able to identify key similarities and differences between the two sets of standards. And then we can analyze why these standards are important for learners and for the classroom. And then with these takeaways, we can use them to create expectations for new teachers. The two professional teaching standards that I focused on were InTask and the Council for Exceptional Children. So with InTask, these standards are used to ensure student success. They should be used by teachers to create a foundation for their classroom, and teachers should be able to implement these standards as soon as they start. And then InTask is often used to help develop policies within the school and the school districts. With the Council for Exceptional Children, these standards are very similar to InTask, but they're more focused on preparing special educators for their special education classes. With the CEC, these specifically are used for preparation of new special educators, where InTask actually changed their standards to encompass all teachers at any point in their career. And then the Council for Exceptional Children also focus more on ensuring safe and effective practice when it comes to a special education classroom. So the first theme that both of these look at is embracing diversity. So with InTask, this is seen in Standard 2, where it talks about teachers being able to create opportunities to show diversity. So this includes social and cultural differences, along with language and learning differences. And by integrating this diversity, you're able to create different learning styles that allow for individuals to succeed within the classroom. And then with the CEC, this is seen within Standard 1. And for these standards, they focus on the diversity of different learning disabilities along with those social and cultural differences. And this diversity should be seen as a way to advocate for their students and understand that these outside factors are going to contribute to their unique needs and how they are going to learn within a special education classroom. And embracing diversity is important for a teacher because it creates a learning environment where every student can thrive. And so this is seen with the study done by Mirren and Van Wyck, where they looked at Indonesian math teachers who implemented cultural games and food within their math concepts, and they found that students were able to understand and engage more within the lessons that they were being taught. And so with these opportunities, the classroom becomes more student-focused rather than teacher-focused, where students are engaging with each other and talking through the problems and learning more in a group dynamic rather than focused only on what the teacher is trying to teach them on the concept. So this creates different learning styles as well. The second theme that both of these standards talk about is content knowledge. And so with InTask Standard 4, it's talking about how teachers should understand the major concepts along with different debates and what's going on within their content area. This helps them provide instruction to their students that help them go beyond the scope of what's being taught. By becoming basically an expert in the topic they are teaching, they can help address, common misconceptions or re-explain an idea that a student might not be understanding. And it's important that these teachers are staying up to date on new ideas within their content to help engage their learners. And then with the CEC, this is looked at in Standard 3, where the content matter is important to help decide how instruction will be made for special education classes. And these teachers, by becoming experts in their topic, they can understand what skills and strategies these students might need while learning with their disability. And so this creates a specially designed instruction for them. And then being an expert in your content is important because it helps go beyond the scope of what students are learning. And so this can be seen in a study with by Livy, that looked at also math teachers and how starting out that these teachers were focused more on rote learning, where it was mostly focused on memorization. And then as they became more of a master in their concept, took more classes, they were able to create a more connected knowledge based instruction to help create these connections with students. So they were able to create more impactful connections with the topics and skills that these students were learning. And then both InTask and CEC also focus on collaboration. And so with InTask, this can be seen all across their standards with standard 3, 7, and 10, where collaboration is really important to creating a learning environment, and that teachers should be looking for outside help with professionals and working with families to create an effective learning environment. The CEC is similar with Standard 7. This one focuses more on collaboration outside of the classroom and actually being able to create programs and access to services to help benefit the student, not just inside, but also outside of the classroom. InTask and the CEC also focus on data-driven decision-making. So in Standard 7 of the InTask, data is often used to assess different diverse needs and different learning styles. These assessments should both be formative and summative. And oftentimes this is used to adapt instruction and change the way a teacher might be teaching a concept to help benefit their students. Whereas the CEC often focuses more on this instruction to create more of a structure. So InTask focuses more on the flexibility, where the CEC explains the benefit of having structure within a special education class so that these students feel comfortable within their environment when they're learning. Data-driven assessments can also be used to determine eligibility for a special education classroom, and they can help measure the learning and the behavior of these students. When it comes to InTask, it also looks at improving practice and advancing the profession. So in Standard 9, it stresses the importance of self-assessment and data-driven instruction. For teachers, they should be responsible for improving their own instruction and should be actively seeking opportunities to better their classroom. When they're doing this, they should be creating a plan that will help them grow professionally. And then when it comes to advancing the profession, this can be seen in Standard 10, where teachers should be taking an active role and a leadership position in advocating for their students and for their classroom and the future of teaching. So collaboration is highly important when it comes to expressing these ideas, and they should be focused on educational issues and policies, not just what's going on inside of the classroom, but what's going on, around these students' lives out in the community. And so with all of this, both InTask and CEC value these standards to create the best learning environment for students. While the CEC is specifically for students with disabilities, they both stress the importance of teachers going beyond the scope of learning to help their students and advocate for their students. Thank you.